Thanks for staying tuned. We have a special guest with us today. Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you guys Charlie Oppler, NAR's 2021 president. Charlie is a realtor from Franklin Lakes, New Jersey, and has been practicing real estate for more than 40 years. He's the CEO of Prominent Properties, Sotheby's International Realty, with 15 offices in northern and central New Jersey. He holds the At Home with Diversity certification from NAR. He served on NAR's board of directors numerous times, beginning in 2003, chaired the Realtor Party Coordinating Committee and the RPAC Trustees Committee, and has served on 4 of NAR's presidential advisory groups. In 2005, he was NAR's vice president for Region 2, which is New Jersey, New York, and Pennsylvania. And in 2015, he was NAR vice president for Chris Polycron. Charlie was the president of the New Jersey Association of Realtors in 2004. At the local level, Charlie is a member of the Greater Bergen Board of Realtors. In 1996, he served as the association's president. They named him Realtor of the Year in 1997. Charlie is a lifelong resident of New Jersey and is actively involved in his community, supporting organizations including Iron Mat, a foundation dedicated to raising awareness of pediatric brain tumors, and Inglewood Hospital and Medical Center. He's a graduate of the College of New Jersey. Charlie and his wife, Jerry, have 4 children. Welcome, Charlie.
Thank you, Morris. I'm glad to join my friends at the South Carolina Realtors today in commemorating Fair Housing Month. Our fair housing work is vital this month, next month, and every month. Thank you for engaging in this mission-critical work. More than 50 years after the passage of the Fair Housing Act, we know that housing discrimination still persists. That's why we must continue the work of advancing equity in this country. At NAR, we believe the real estate industry has a special role to play in the fight for fair housing, given our past mistakes. And when 1.4 million realtors act as one, together, there's a lot we can do to tackle housing discrimination, expand home ownership in the Black community, and reduce the racial wealth gap. As realtors, you are all leaders in your communities. So I would ask you to actively stand up for diverse, inclusive communities where everyone is welcome. In real estate, a title entrusts property owners with the stewardship of their home, a responsibility to care for its value and security. Well, the Realtor brand is our title, and we're stewards of the American dream for all Americans of all backgrounds. More than a year ago, NAR's leadership team launched the ACT plan. ACT stands for Accountability, Culture Change, and Training. We're rolling out several fair housing initiatives that fall under one of these 3 categories. For accountability, we're developing a self-testing program so brokerages can receive a confidential report on how well they are complying with the law. They'll also receive training for whatever problems are uncovered. And additionally, NAR will work with state associations to help them strengthen their licensing laws in their own home states. In terms of culture change, NAR is developing a Realtor Fair Housing Champion Award for a member who makes an outstanding impact in advancing fair housing. We must shine a spotlight on those who are doing good work to inspire others. And finally, in terms of training, NAR has several programs that we urge you to take. First, there's Fairhaven. This simulation uses storytelling to help learners confront discrimination in realistic scenarios. The situations are based on real fair housing cases, and realtors frequently ask questions. These powerful stories allow learners to see the harm that discrimination causes in real people's lives. We also offer member-focused implicit bias training videos. Implicit bias is the way our brains automatically and without conscious awareness associate negative stereotypes with particular groups of people. This training offers practical tools to overcome these hidden biases so we can treat all consumers fairly. And finally, there's the At Home with Diversity credential. This one-day certification course helps members navigate a rapidly changing market and work with clients of all backgrounds. You can find more information on all three programs at nar.realtors/fair housing. To complement this training, NAR is pursuing an equity-based legislative agenda. We'll push for policies that support an equitable and accessible housing finance system to help close the racial home ownership and wealth gaps. We'll back increased funding and resources for fair housing enforcement, education, and housing discrimination testing. And we're working to amend the Fair Housing Act to bar discrimination based on sexual orientation or gender identity. Actually, our own Code of Ethics is ahead of the federal law in this regard. I hope I've made it clear just how seriously we at NAR and your leadership team take our commitment to fair housing. Fair housing is more than something to do to avoid liability. Yes, fair housing is the law. Yes, fair housing is good for your business and your community and our economy. But most of all, it's the right thing to do. I'd like to leave you with some final thoughts. After the tragic death of George Floyd last year, a renewed national conversation on race and history seemed overdue. Those conversations shifted the landscape for many Americans. In our industry, this shift brought a consensus that change starts with us. That's why we recently took a look at our Code of Ethics and decided it needed an update. Many realtors were shocked, hurt, and offended by the ugly and hateful words some posted to social media during this time. That's why the NAR Board of Directors approved a change to our Code of Ethics that makes it a violation for realtors to use harassing or hateful speech towards protected classes under Article 10. We believe realtors should be held accountable for any words and actions that reflect on the realtor organization, whether it's said publicly or on a personal social media account. We must continue to insist realtors are held to the highest standard. The purpose of this ethical obligation is simple. It does not restrict the freedom of any realtor so long as they respect the dignity of others. Accountability, culture change, training, and the recognition that change starts with us. NAR is committed to finishing the work left undone and fulfilling the promise of America for families and communities of every color. We must continue to move forward. It will take time, but I believe our industry is ready to make equity part of what we do today, tomorrow, and every day. We can help lead the way here in South Carolina and across the country. Thank you, and thanks for giving me so much time and having me join you today.